Obviously, once I have nitrous filled, my sensor will tell it that it's full.
You can literally spray the crap out of it then and not worry about it.
Yep. So if I've got fuel, good nitrous pressure, and my AFRs aren't wonky, we're spraying for Jesus.
Hey there, all you cool cats and kittens. I'm Alex from Spooling Up Performance. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we got Corey's Vet back at the house, and we are getting this nitrous system ready to go. And ultimately, this thing is going to be an animal, an absolute animal. You're going to have to stick around and find out why, so stay tuned. Guys, real quick before this video begins, I didn't realize I had the foam outer piece on the GoPro to block some of the wind that was coming in the beginning of the video, and I forgot to take it off. So you're gonna see a little fuzzy like in the corners sometimes when I move the camera, and I apologize. I hate that stuff, and I'm just wanted to say I'm sorry that you guys have to see it the whole video, but hopefully you can look past it and enjoy it. So let's get to it. Making a bunch of fucking racket around here, dude.
Crazy.
How you been?
Living the dream.
What are we doing today? It's almost killing yourself there.
A whole bunch of stuff in here.
Yeah. So as you guys know, this is Corey's Vet. It's a cammed out nitrous car. We don't have any nitrous and or we ever sprayed it yet. We put it in basically at the last part of the season, but he did get a full standalone fuel setup. So what is this?
Nitrous outlet. Single gallon nitrous outlet fuel cell. It's got a built-in Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator, which I misplaced the spring for. So I have to see if they'll hook me up with a new spring.
Sure, it won't be a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be an issue.
Plus, it's easy to get to, kind of. So
yeah.
So explain what this, I know what it is, but for the people, explain what this standalone fuel cell is a benefit for.
So rather than pulling directly off your fuel rail, there's only so much fuel to go around unless you want to throw in an intake pump, which is a nightmare on these because it's a saddle that actually, there's two parts to it. It's got an overflow and a pump that pumps it into the pump. And
you got to drop the whole drivetrain to do that.
Pretty much the whole rear subframe, and it's a nightmare. So much of a nightmare that someone that's very well versed in LS and Corvette said, yeah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Here we are. So basically what this is going to do, when the nitrous line runs up to the front of the car,
Wires out.
So you have a fuel solenoid and a nitrous solenoid. So the nitrous line comes up and feeds the nitrous solenoid, but then the fuel solenoid actually taps off the stock fuel rail. So basically what that fuel cell is going to do is going to provide its own source of fuel to the actual nitrous kit. So the jet that's for fuel, it'll be supplied by that standalone cell, so that the stock pump can just fuel the motor and do all that stuff, and then the nitrous can be supplied by that fuel cell. And what fuel do you run in that? I know some people run like C16.
Yeah, C16, Q16. Some people do E85.
All depends on what you want, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the consensus go-to is C16.
C16. So super high octane stuff that, can definitely keep up with the nitrous. So we're trying to go big on this and shoot for about, what, a 200 shot?
Yeah, 250. Let's.
Oh, dang. But we got the Lingenfelter box. This helps for launching and pulling timing out of the tune. Don't worry about all these. We just left them hanging because we got some stuff to hook up. But yeah, pretty much an overview. The Vet's looking sick. We're going to make it look even sicker here soon. But yeah, we're going to jump to this, and we'll bring you guys along the way. And that way we can get the nitrous going. so we can get you guys some full send videos with this thing, because we're gonna get rowdy. So really cool. We thought we were gonna have to relocate this to his glove box, but it ended up coming with a cable that was about 10 feet long. We were able to run it into the car. So he's buttoning the battery back up. I'll show you guys in here. Basically, you ran it through the glove box and up and around, and this is actually the screen, and this screen's for the actual nitrous system itself.
Yes.
So you'll be able to, what can you monitor on that?
Well, everything. You can set window switch. You can have a cutoff for if your nitrous pressure gets low or your fuel pressure gets low. You can set the
oh, so you can see nitrous pressure,
everything. Fuel,
dang.
nitrous, window switch. You can set it based on the speed. So if you know your first gear goes out to 50 miles an hour and you want to lock out first gear altogether, you set it to not spray until 52 miles an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
And then giddy up, and then you can increase ramp rates. You can even change the pulse rate of the solenoids.
Wow. Okay. Straight from there?
Straight from there.
That's sick. So you can adjust on the fly.
On the fly, yeah.
Now, does it store maps?
Yep. It'll store up to 5 maps.
Dang, that's sick.
What they were saying was basically, if you got an unprepped track or you're running on the street,
like no prep.
like no prep, and you want to, you need to come out of the hole without any nitrous spraying, map 1. Map 2, a well prepped track where
you're gonna hook.
you can feed it all,
Yeah.
the full shot.
Now, can you adjust your ramp in levels from there?
Yeah.
So you can adjust, like, okay, I want 10% off the line and ramp up to 100 by 3rd gear.
Yep.
Dude, that's so sick. And then this little thing here, he's got an actual mount that'll just go on the window, so he can monitor everything from there. Dude, this thing is going to absolutely eat. I mean, it had what? So on like on the tune it has now on all motor, it was like 440, right?
Yeah, it's
ish.
Mid to low 4s.
Mid to low 4s. So with a retune, you might be able to squeeze a little bit more out of it for all motor. But the best thing about this is you don't have to have the car tuned for nitrous. You can actually use the box and everything that's up there to adjust it off the fly. So getting a really solid motor tune done is definitely key if you're installing a system like this, because you want to make sure the motor is no crap ready to go, so that when you do something like this, like a pretty in-depth system, it seems in-depth, but it's really not that hard. It's all plug and play from nitrous outlet, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks a lot more complex than it is. I was kind of freaking out thinking it was going to take forever to do, and it really, with this screen, especially now that I don't have to use my laptop to dial everything in, I can do it. Like, you could be sitting in the passenger seat playing with the settings while I'm romping on it to see what's going on.
Nice. That's so sick.
Which is pretty cool, yeah.
This car is going to be an animal. He actually was going to sell this thing and decided to keep it, and I'm kind of glad he did. But he just installed these new billet paddle shifters too, and those things turned out sweet. So I'm really excited to see how this thing responds. This thing sounds insane, and it's going to be an absolute monster. Now we just got to go get the bottle filled and start really dialing this thing in. We're going to put the fuel cell in, and then we'll get back to you guys when that's in, and maybe take you guys for a rip, obviously without nitrous, but just to drive around. All right, so Corey has this light hooked up, and basically what that's going to do is, as soon as we have it hooked up to a trigger on the Langenfelter box, so that when it starts to pull timing, the light will turn on. We kind of came up with that on our own, so we're really hoping that works. It makes sense.
TM,
trademark, nitrous outlet, make it part of the kit. But they, yeah, so we're figuring if when the wire that powers the ignition or timing retard, then that should light up because it sees power. So that'll be pretty sweet. Flash right in your eye.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too...
I don't think it'd be bright.
Too bright,
No.
Just enough to let me know what's going on. I need to make this a tiny bit bigger.
The hole?
Yeah, it was...
It's pretty snug in there right now.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Let's check back. Hey guys, I just want to take a quick second and give it a shout out to YANK Performance Converters. They are now an official sponsor of the channel. Corey's Vet has a YANK converter in it that we spec'd out last year. They were a great help trying to get it dialed in for his exec setup. to get the most potential we could out of it. We've been super happy. So I actually reached out to them to spec a converter for the RX-8 because that is going to be running a 6R80 transmission, and I really wanted to make sure that thing was spec'd 100% the way we want it for when the time comes to let that thing rip. So I looked no further, got on the phone with the guys over there, and they were glad to help out. They are going to be making the converter for the RX-8. They have all the specifications of what they need to do, so I really can't wait to see how it turns out. But huge shout out to them. If you guys have any converter needs or anything like that, definitely give them a holler. I'll drop their stuff down here on the screen and also down in the description below. You guys feel free to check them out. I appreciate it. Let's get back to the video. Dang, that's sick. So that comes on when you turn the arm switch for the nitrous on?
Yeah, so. Yeah, and then you just gotta go in, and obviously once I have nitrous filled, my sensor will tell it that it's, you know, full. And you got, once I get the wideband, yeah.
Dude, that's so sick.
Output set up.
Oh, damn. Oh, cool. So you can have your, there's your ramp in right there.
Yep. Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure it pulls the battery on the retard type. And then here's the frequency of the solenoids. You can change those to, you know, kind of adjust how they fire, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get that in depth, but,
so this thing can do a lot.
yeah, I mean, look, there's a speed sensor,
TPS, fuel pressure. That's sick.
Yeah,
so you can monitor right off that aeromotive.
Well, that's the.
Or is that rail pressure?
No, that's the sensor that's already hooked up to the line right now. When we go to hook up the,
that's what it'll read.
It taps right into the fuel line, and it will cut. It'll cut the system off if it goes below a certain PSI. So if the fuel pressure regulator craps out and it drops below 40 PSI, the system cuts off. It's a fail safe.
Nice.
And it's the same thing with the nitrous pressure. So I can set it up, you know,
the voltage.
Yeah, so basically it's gonna see, you know,
1200 bottle, that's the bottle pressure, right?
Right, so at basically wide open throttle, if it sees, you know, whatever.
So your bottle's at 975 right now?
No, because the nitrous, the sensor's not hooked up.
Okay, but that's where it would display it.
It would show what the pressure is, yes.
That's so sick.
Yep, and then the volts that it's pulling. Where is it here? Fuel pressure. So right now it's showing I've got 26 PSI, because that one is hooked up.
Okay, the one
to
on
the rail
right now.
But right here, if it dips below, I can set this to whatever I want. If it dips below, you know, I should probably call Nitrous Outlet and see what they recommend. But, you know, I can go down and have it kill it at, you know,
whatever you said,
40 PSI. Yeah. And then when I get the wideband installed,
that's sweet, because you can have that right there, and it can do lambda and AFR. Yep. That's pretty sick.
And it'll kill the system if it gets too lean.
Oh, so it's a built-in failsafe.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's perfect, man. Yep. They literally you can literally spray the crap out of it then and not worry about it.
Yep. So if I've got fuel, good nitrous pressure, and my AFRs aren't wonky, we're spraying for Jesus.
Yeah.
If anything goes wrong, it's gonna kill it. And here's the speed sensor.
Nice. That's sick. Well, I mean, this is going to be awesome.
It's
because you really don't have to worry about much now.
Nothing. So I can just whack this with
all of it.
All of it.
That's awesome, man.
And then we just adjust the Lingenfelter box to pull however many degrees of timing.
That's badass. So, only thing you got to do is hook up we just got to drop that fuel cell in.
Yep.
And that just plugs in and we'll be good to go.
Yep.
Hit it. everything running, working good. The only thing it looks like we got to set up is RPM. I think we just have to run a signal out underneath the hood, but that's about the only thing that's not working. So everything turned out pretty good. That was pretty easy.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, what does SpongeBob usually say? Floret? All right, guys, well, that is gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have a vet or have a nitrous kit that you guys are putting on with this style stuff, you can definitely see how we did it. There's gonna be more to come on the nitrous install. We still gotta put the standalone fuel cell in, and that's really it. We gotta get fuel for it, fill up the nitrous bottle, and we'll be ready to go, man. It'll be time to get these drag radials on and get ready to go for the season and really start dialing this thing in. There's a couple things we got to check on, which we might call the guys at Nitrous Outlet for, but other than that, it's obviously sounding good, looking good, and pretty soon it's going to be running good, or I should say even better than it is now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give this video a big thumbs up if you did. Drop a comment below if you want to see anything with this car, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.